All right, so I'd like for you to pull out your notebooks, and just on your next open page, I want to do two more examples of dividing polynomials, one of long division and one using synthetic division. But I want to take a look at what happens when we have what's called a missed power. So what do I mean by a missed power? Let's take a look at a first example here. Let's say we have x to the third minus 49x plus 120. And I want to divide that by x plus 8. So what is it that I mean by missed powers? I'm going from x to the third down to an x. So I'm missing a power here. I'm missing my x squared term. So whenever we have a missed power, we actually want to put in a placeholder for when we do our division. So let's do this one as a long division problem. We're going to take that x plus 8 off to the side. And then we have our little house thing. So we have our x to the third. And this is where we're skipping that x squared. So for a placeholder, I'm going to put in a plus 0x squared. Because really that's just 0. But it's just holding a place for that power of x squared. Then I have my x term, 49x. Then I have that constant of 120. So let's go ahead and divide. So if we have x to the third, we want to divide that by x. So that would be an x squared. Then we're going to take that x squared and we're going to distribute it to the x and the 8. So x squared times x is x to the third. X squared times 8 is a positive 8x squared. So now you can see why I wanted to put that placeholder in there. I wanted to have a column for my x squareds. Next, we want to subtract. And when we subtract, we have x to the third minus x to the third. That cancels out. 0x squared minus 8x squared is a negative 8x squared. We're going to take that minus 49x and plus 120. We're going to drop it down. Okay, so we're going to do this again. So negative 8x squared, if we divide that by x, we get a negative 8x. We're going to go ahead and multiply it, distribute it. Negative 8x times x is a negative 8x squared. Negative 8x times 8 is a negative 64x. Okay, we want to subtract that quantity. So we have negative 8x squared minus a negative 8x squared. That cancels out. Negative 49x minus a negative 64x. That's a positive 15x. Take that plus 120, drop it down. Okay, one more time. 15x divided by x is a positive 15. I'm going to take this 15 and distribute it to the 8 plus x. So 15 times x is 15x. 15 times 8 is a positive 120. Subtract. We get 0, so a remainder of 0. So our final answer here is 8x squared minus 8x plus 15. Okay, so let's do one more example. This time I'd like to do the example using synthetic division. So let's take a look at, okay, this is example 2. Let's take a look at the quantity x to the 4th minus 9x to the 3rd minus 1. And I want to divide that by x minus 9. So again, we're going to use synthetic division. So with synthetic division, we start off with this x minus 9, set it equal to 0. That means x is equal to a positive 9. So 9 goes over here off to the side. Next, we're going to take all of the coefficients of the polynomial that we're trying to divide into. So we have 1x to the 4th. We have a negative 9x to the 3rd. Okay, we don't have an x squared term, so we're going to put a 0 in there for my x squared. I also don't have an x term, so I'm going to put another 0 in there for my x terms. And then I have a negative 1. I'm going to leave a space and draw a line. Okay, so we're going to take our first term, first value here, which is a 1. We drop it below the line. And then we're going to multiply it by the value in our box. So 1 times 9 is 9. Now we're going to add negative 9 plus 9 is 0. Take this 0, multiply it by 9, we get 0. 0 plus 0, 0. Take this 0, multiply it by 9, get 0 again. 0 plus 0, still a 0. 0 times 9, 0. Negative 1 plus 0 is negative 1. So now these are all of our coefficients. So the original problem started with an x to the 4th. Well, we're dividing by an x. So all of these values are going to go down in degree. So this is going to be an x to the 3rd, x squared, x. This is our constant. That negative 1 is a remainder. So how do we write our final answer? Well, we have x to the 3rd. We don't have any x squareds, we don't have any x's, and we don't have any constants, so we don't have to put anything else next to here. But we do have that remainder. That remainder is negative, so we do a minus 1 over, and what was it that we were dividing by? X minus 9. And there's your answer there.